Hello, and welcome to Chapter 1 of the Wink Getting Started series entitled Basic Features and Functions. This video is divided into 3 sections, namely, Introduction to Wink, the Getting Started video series, and finally, Wink software functionality. Please note, despite the timestamps appearing here, we encourage you to watch this entire video at least once, as it serves as the foundation for your understanding of how to use Wink. And what may seem irrelevant today may be important for you to know in the future. Alright then, let's begin. To begin, when you first downloaded Wink, you were given access to a public database, being shared by users all over the world. You were then given instructions outlining the process for creating a free, private database for your practice. Therefore, you should only be watching this video if you've already created that private database. If you haven't created a private database for your practice yet, the process for doing so is very easy. Just click on the My Wink icon at the top of your Wink window and follow your on-screen instructions. Next, when you first created your private database, you were sent 3 emails. If you haven't received those 3 emails, you should check your junk or spam folders to see if they aren't there. Then, add hello@downloadwink.com to your email contact list. Finally, add hello@downloadwink.com to your mail client's list of safe senders. Once you've completed that process, email us to request that we resend you those 3 emails. They are very important and contain a lot of information that you are going to need to get started with Wink. For example, they contain instructions for your computer technicians. They contain spreadsheets for you to upload your frames and patients into Wink. And they also contain legal information describing your relationship with Wink. So make sure you get them. Next, although we've gone to great lengths to produce as many high-quality instructional videos as possible, we know that self-study is not for everyone. We've often heard from customers that they're running a business, and when they have a question, they just want to pick up the phone and get an answer. For that reason, in addition to free video and email support, we also offer you the ability to sign up for one of our paid support packages. For starters, you can call or Skype us at any time at a cost of $75 an hour, charged in 30-minute increments. We also offer support packages, including uploading your frames or your lenses at a cost of $25, instead of you having to do all the data entry yourself. Webinars at a cost of $50 per session, or $350 for a year of unlimited sessions. Assisted onboarding, where a member of Wink staff will spend an hour on the phone with you explaining how to use Wink, and will also upload all of your frames, all at a one-time cost of $100. Premium onboarding is also offered, and it includes 10 hours of private telephone support, whereby we train you and your staff how to use Wink, and we upload your frames, lenses, patients, suppliers, all at a one-time cost of only $750. And finally, premium support, where you can receive up to 24 hours of training for you and your staff. We upload all your data, and you can call us anytime for any support you need at a fixed cost of only $100 a month. Please note, premium support can also be provided free of charge if you sign up with one of our premium sponsors, such as Payment Processing. For more information about our support packages, click on the Wink Store icon and read about the different ones we offer via the Subscriptions, Services, and Support tabs. Now then, as discussed earlier, this video is divided into 3 parts. The first is an introduction to Wink. So let's get started. Wink is free practice management software for eye care professionals. Wink was first developed in 2006 through a partnership of software, accounting, and optical professionals as a point of sale and an inventory management system that would be easy to use and allow for effective document management. In 2013, we started adding features like an integrated appointment calendar, patient communication portal for recalls, insurance processing, lab ordering, reports and statistics, and an EHR. Now, without a doubt, the most common question we get is how can we provide all of this at no charge, whereas our competition charges hundreds if not thousands of dollars per month for the same service? Well, we've got 4 reasons for that. The first is advertising. Our ads appear in this space here, and you've probably noticed that they never pop up and never interfere with your workflow. They're ads for products and services integrated with Wink. There are also ads from optical industry suppliers like frame manufacturers and ophthalmic labs. All ads are intended to help you generate greater sales, cut costs, or generally make your business more profitable. These aren't ads like what you'd normally see in your Gmail or your Yahoo Mail accounts for discounts on movie tickets or spaghetti dinners. Nevertheless, for an ad-free Wink experience, you can click on the Wink store icon, go to the subscription section, and subscribe to an ad-free environment. An important part of Wink advertising is the advertising that you can do for us. So many of our customers are so appreciative of the work we've done for them and of the support we provide them as well. And they often tell us that they want to help us just as we've helped them. Well, here's how you can do that. Throughout your usage of Wink, you'll be given the opportunity to post about your Wink experience on social media. Here's how you do that. Click here, write a comment, and click on your favorite social media handle. Posting about Wink helps spread the word about Wink. It takes only seconds, doesn't cost you a dime. It's a great way to interact with other Wink users, and it's a great way to support Wink as well. And we're counting on your support to maintain Wink as the world's first and only free practice management software for eye care professionals. The second reason why Wink is free is because of lab ordering. You've likely selected Wink because you were looking for a point of sale for your practice. Well, with a touch of a button, Wink will send your orders to the lab of your choice by email or fax at no charge. Alternatively, for a small fee, Wink can be integrated with your lab so that they don't have to pay someone to re-enter your order into their lab management software. This also reduces the errors and turnaround time, which are key performance indicators for your lab. Lab integration is charged to the lab in the form of a very small transaction fee. And no, we've never heard of the lab charging that fee back to the stores. By way of example, if you're currently ordering via your lab's website, then they're likely already paying that transaction fee to the company managing that website for them. Other labs will even offer you a discount for ordering online. So we just offer that same service, except you don't have to retype your order into that third-party website because it's already in Wink. Furthermore, as an added benefit, Wink will advertise on behalf of labs we're integrated with to other practices using Wink. So it's really a win-win situation for everyone. Please note, we also offer the possibility of charging you, the practitioner, for integration with your lab in the form of a fixed monthly rate. For information about that, go to the Wink store, click on subscriptions, and read about non-sponsored lab integrations. A third reason why Wink is free is because of sponsors. Wink is a reseller of products and services like label printers, barcode scanners, and websites, all of which are integrated with Wink. We've negotiated 20 to 30% discounts with our suppliers, and we resell you their products and services at list prices. So when you buy from Wink, you're not only supporting Wink and Wink sponsors, but you're also getting the peace of mind that you've purchased the right products that will integrate seamlessly with your Wink software. And a final reason why Wink is free is because of upgrades. Wink's basic software package is perhaps the most complete software package you'll ever need, but we encourage you to sign up for one of our upgrades, including unlimited text messaging at $15 a month, integration with accounting software, integration with insurance processors, or how about a plugin to integrate your website with your Wink appointment calendar? All of these and more are available via the Wink store. For more information, you can call us at 1-888-764-4318, or you can Skype us at wink.technologies. Okay, that concludes our introduction to Wink. The next topic of this presentation is a description of the Wink Getting Started video series. The Wink Getting Started video series is a collection of 10 videos intended to describe the Wink environment for new users of Wink software. The videos are based on this document, which was sent to you by email when you first created your private database. This document is broken into 52 different steps, and for each step introduced, we always indicate whether this step is important, recommended, or optional for you to implement. We of course recommend you watch every video in its entirety so as to decide for yourself what is important, recommended, or optional. Nearly every step will end with an image like this one, recommending that you pause the video and think about what was just said. This is an important teaching technique, and we encourage you to apply it as suggested, as it will permit you to acquire the newly introduced topics more completely. Now then, throughout this video series, we will make frequent reference to those 3 emails that we sent you when you first created your private database. This is why it's so important that you receive them. This first email is an email which describes our legal relationship with you. This second email includes 3 very important links. This first one is a link to the 50+ steps of the Getting Started process. You're likely going to want to print that document and use it as a guide for your training. This second link will permit you to download an Excel workbook for data import purposes. All you need to do then is fill it out with all your frames, lenses, patients, suppliers, and send it back to us so that we can import all that data for you. This third link contains important information for your technician. This information includes the process for configuring your printers, your email accounts, and all other equipment you will likely want to integrate with Wink. Finally, there's a third email, this one, which describes many of our training and support packages. Again, as mentioned earlier, we know self-study isn't for everyone. For that reason, we want you to know that we're here to help you, even if only on a pay-as-you-go basis. So if you ever get stuck, just pick up the phone and dial 1-888-764-4318 or Skype us at wink.technologies. The last thing to mention about the Getting Started video series is that we will frequently ask you to do things like subscribe to our YouTube channel and share our videos via your other social media platforms. Subscribing to our YouTube channel means that you will be automatically advised whenever a new training video becomes available. So it's really in your best interests to subscribe. But we also benefit from your free subscription to our YouTube channel because you're helping to promote Wink. And we're counting on your support to maintain Wink as the world's only free practice management software for eye care professionals. Subscribing to our YouTube channel is very easy. Just click on this button. Next, to share one of our videos on your Facebook or LinkedIn page, click on this thumbs up icon which appears just below the video. Then, select your social media platform and follow your on-screen instructions. Okay, so that concludes our explanation of the Getting Started video series. The last topic to showcase in Chapter 1 is an introduction to Wink functionality. So let's begin. This is the Wink dashboard. It's the main page which you are likely quite used to by now. There's a menu bar at the top here with important elements like Reports, where you can highlight important elements like Patients, Sales, and Details, so as to generate a detailed sales report for the day. Alternatively, you can click on Settings, and for example, select what your frame label format should look like. Currently, it's set to brand and model. If you wanted to, you could print just the brand on line 1 of that label, and click on Save, and close. Finally, there's Help, where you can select from a variety of training and support options, including Technician Remote Control, so as to permit a member of Wink's team to connect to your computer and help you to understand how or why something works as it does. Moving across your page now, you may see a scroll bar on the right-hand side here. You may see another one at the bottom here. I currently don't have any, but essentially the smaller your screen is, the more likely it is you will see those scroll bars. For an optimal Wink experience, we recommend nothing smaller than a 15-inch monitor, and in fact our catalog includes monitors from 17 to 21 inches. From there, just set your screen to its native resolution and you'll be fine. At the top right of this dashboard, you'll find that social media space we referenced earlier, where you can post a message and tell your friends about Wink. At the bottom right is a similar text field, but that one is used for communicating directly with a Wink representative by email. To the left of that social media space at the top is your username, a prompt to change your password, and directly below that, a search prompt. In this search prompt, you can enter any Wink reference ID, and Wink will display the information related to it. For example, if you type I-25, Wink will open Invoice 25. If you type R59, Wink will open RX Worksheet 59. If you type O213, Wink will open Lab Order Form 213. If you type S652, Wink will open the frame related to serial number 652. Oh, and by the way, for those of you using barcodes and barcode scanners, each of the documents just referenced comes with a barcode. So you can just scan that barcode, and Wink will display the information as though you had typed the reference ID in this field. Now then, above the text field used for asking us questions, you can click on one of these buttons to get access to, for example, Wink training videos, the Wink catalog, or finally the Wink store referenced earlier. Those are all pretty self-explanatory. Nevertheless, we recommend you click on them at least once to familiarize yourself with the content therein. One final item to review is that to protect your data, Wink will automatically lock down after 5 minutes of inactivity, like this. Once logged out, to re-access Wink, you'll need to re-click on your social media icon or enter your Wink password. Please note, if John the manager is using Wink and he gets logged out after 5 minutes of inactivity, and then Mary the employee tries to log in using her username and password, then Wink will advise Mary that in order to protect John's data, that Wink will close any windows John's left open. For that reason, we recommend that you always save your data before walking away from the computer for any extended period of time. Okay, let's log back in now. For demonstration purposes, I've actually logged back into our public database because it's a bit easier to show you some of the next things that I wanted to show you. The first thing to show you is how to open, edit, or create new information in Wink. Opening something in Wink is very straightforward. For example, click on Users. What first appears is a list of all users in your system. To access any record, simply double-click on it, like this. Now to cycle back to your list, you can click on List, or click on Details to come back to that record that you wanted to see. You can also use these buttons at the bottom right here to cycle to the next record, or return to the previous one. Finally, you can also click on New to create a new record. I'll close that now. The next thing to review with you is that Wink is a true multi-store environment. Whereas other software was usually built for one practice and then the database was in some way duplicated so as to incorporate many practices, Wink was built with a multi-store architecture in mind from the very beginning. Therefore, when you're going to create new data, you're often going to be asked which store is that data related to. Now, we don't do it in every case because sometimes we actually know where the data is supposed to go, but sometimes we don't. For example, when creating tax codes. When creating a new tax code, for example, a state tax, you're going to have to select which of your practices is subject to that state tax and click the green check mark. This practice of assigning a particular tax code to a store can also be found here when creating new suppliers. Again, click on New and enter your supplier's name, just like that. Then enter your account number at that supplier and assign that account number to one of your locations. Now, many of you will only have one location to begin, so you will always be selecting that very same location for every single store. And click Apply. Next, it's very important to always remember to click on the Save button. Data which is entered but which is not saved will simply be ignored. Next, Another thing to introduce you to with respect to Wink is Wink's architecture. Wink's architecture is known as a client-server relationship. Wink will install on your computer, the client, but your database is on Wink's server. Therefore, whereas most of your information will always be immediately accessible, it may sometimes be necessary to refresh the page so as to make the data appear quicker. Here are some examples of that. I'm going to open a patient's file and go to a new RX worksheet. This refresh button will refresh my lens library so as to be able to view any changes which I've recently made to it. This refresh button can be found in many places in Wink, and in fact, whenever data that you wanted to appear does not appear, this refresh button may be useful. Please note, for the most part, you're only going to be refreshing your data for the first couple weeks that you're using Wink, because after that, all of your main data is always there and everything will appear as you want it to. Another example of the client-server relationship is here in Frames. As you can see, we're only showing you a list of the first 500 frames that were found, but your database can accommodate tens or hundreds of thousands of frames. Now, if we went and actually showed you hundreds of thousands of frames every time you loaded this page, your Wink software would run very slowly. For that reason, we have this search feature at the top here, which reads, "Didn't find what you wanted? Click here." Now, you can search for your frame by brand, for example. Simply type the brand of the frame you're looking for and click on Find. And there you have them. Alternatively, if you wanted to, you could load your entire list of frames by clearing this field and clicking on Find. Are you sure you want to load all items? Yes. This now loads your entire list of frames. Bear in mind, if you have hundreds of thousands of frames in your inventory, this might take a bit of time to load. I'll just close that now. Next, let me show you some of our data entry fields. I'll begin by clicking on Frames, just as I did earlier. This time, I'm going to click on New, so as to create a new frame. You can now type your data into these fields, like this. Now to move from one cell to the next, you can press Tab, like this. Enter your next information, and Tab again. Notice how Wink knows exactly what cell to go to, just by pressing on Tab. If you wanted to, you can press Enter instead of Tab, like this. Next, if you see a field with a down arrow in it, this is actually a drop-down list, where you can select the supplier, like this, an account number, like this, and where you can enter a cost, like this, and click the green check mark to register it. Clicking on Retail Price, you'll notice that sometimes the fields already have data written in them. This will be Wink's default for this particular field, but you can always overwrite it by clicking and typing, just like that, or delete it, and it goes back to its default setting. Another really interesting feature of Wink is that anywhere you see a price field is actually a calculator field as well. For example, I can enter that the price of this frame is $200, or I can enter it as $50 times 4, enter, and Wink will calculate it for me. This can be used not only here, but on your invoice as well. So if, for example, the price of the frame pops up as $200, you can say 200 times 0.7, enter, and Wink will calculate the amounts for you. With respect to lenses, when entering prices for lenses, you might know your prices by pair, but as you'll see later, Wink needs your price per lens for database tracking purposes. Therefore, if you know that the price for a pair of lenses is $250, you would enter $250 divided by 2, enter. Remember to always press the enter button. If you do not, the data does not register properly. Now, just like your calculator, if you ever wanted to clear the data in your cell, you press on C on your keyboard, just like this. Now, just as I did earlier, when you're ready to enter your price, simply type it in and click on this green check mark to confirm your entry. To delete any data which you've entered, you can click on this red delete icon, just like this. And when you do so, a line will go through to confirm what you've deleted. Now, enter it again and click the green check mark. And there you have it. That is how some of the data entry can be done in Wink. I'll close this now. Now let me take you into an invoice to introduce you to some other Wink features and functions. This is a Wink invoice. There are a number of interesting features here, like for example, by default, today's date will appear on the invoice. However, if you want to backdate your invoice, click on the calendar and change the date. Similarly, when you receive a payment for an item like a regular eye exam, you can click on Pay to receive a payment, and again, you can change the date at which you receive your payment. I'll close that for now. Another interesting icon is this one in the RX worksheet. These binoculars allow you to do a lookup, in this case, for your patient's previous RX history. Now you can simply select that and the data will be entered for you. This binocular icon can be found in various places in Wink. For example, with respect to ICD codes, you can research ICD codes by clicking on that icon and go through an extensive list of ICD codes. A similar icon is this one. These 3 dots will allow you to gain more information related to any particular product which it is next to. So for example, this frame, the Wink Lauren frame, by clicking on these 3 dots, you can open the file related to this frame and click on Edit if you wanted to modify something related to it, and close when you're done. Another interesting item is the ability to attach files to your patient's records. To attach a document, be it a Word document, a PDF, or other, simply click on Attach File. Select your file and click on Open. When that appears, it means the file's been attached. Attachments can be made within eye exams, within invoices, and at many places in Wink software. Another important thing to think about with respect to Wink is all the various tables available in Wink. For example, insurance payments. I'll click on New, and I'll select an insurance provider like iMed. Now I'll click on Unpaid Claims. If you can imagine, this could be a very long list of claims. You can sort this data by clicking on any of the column headers at the top here. So, to sort by last name, simply click once on last name, and it puts it in alphabetical order. You can also sort by invoice date or invoice number. Here's another type of table where we display information. Have a look at your current inventory table. Frames. In this table, you find a list of frames. We also show you other information, including the model, color, and size of that frame. We also show you your current inventory at your store of that frame, and if you have multiple stores, how many frames are in transit, with a total at the end. This type of table can be found in many places in Wink. And you have the ability to export your data and filter it via these two buttons. You also have the ability generally to view positive, negative, or all inventory quantities. I'll close that now. Lastly, with respect to Wink, a common feature is the ability to go back and modify data which you've entered in the past. For example, product receive transfer. I'm going to open an invoice which I recently received from a supplier, this one, and I'm going to edit the data. Because as it turns out, I didn't pay $59 for this frame, but $69 for it. Now click on Save. And there you have it. And close. Similarly, I can modify a payment method by reopening the patient's file or searching for him, like this one. Select the invoice to be modified, click on Edit, click on Pay, and delete the payment method, and receive it differently. And there you have it. Now there's many more things we could have shown you in this first video, but our intention was to give you a general feel of many of the common features and functions that you're going to get used to whilst working with Wink. The best thing to do now is take a moment to return into your demo software, play with it a little bit, apply what you've learned, and then come back and watch Chapter 2 of our series. In Chapter 2 of our series, we're actually going to begin building your Wink store with you. This involves setting up your store, setting up your tax codes, entering your users, building user profiles, payment methods, and so much more. So stay tuned for that. We hope you've enjoyed this video. We look forward to working with you further. Thanks for choosing Wink. Have a great day. Was this video helpful? Are you enjoying Wink? Spread the word. Share Wink on your social media page.